Welcome to the first edition for 2012 of the Michael Kent Racing Stables update. Michael, perhaps we should have done this a couple of weeks ago, because in that period of time you've had, I think, 9 winners at almost a 50% strike rate. So a great end to 2011, but more importantly, a great start to 2012.
Yeah, no, that's right. We've had a good start. We've got a nice young team, actually. Got some nice horses, and we had a disappointing spring. Things just didn't go right in spring, and no matter how much we tried, little things kept going wrong. But all those horses we've done the right thing by them and stopped them in their preps, and they've all come back. And I'm looking forward to the autumn. And, as I said, there's quite a few nice maiden winners there just the last few weeks that I'm hoping will progress to better things.
Unruly Princess and just canonised her, a couple that spring to mind that looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, canonised. I've always liked him. He won his first start, and then he carried it 4:59 and got caught wide at Sandown. And I was a bit disappointed that he didn't win actually that day, but the horse that won the race ended up being quite a good horse, that horse of Alderson's. And anyway, he's spelled. He's out of a Grand Lodge mare, and he looks like he's really going to stay, and I think a lot of the God Zones are heading that way now. He was pretty good at Ballarat, Bendigo, first up, over 7, and he goes to Flemington on Saturday, and he's drawn 1 again, so I guess he's going to need a bit of luck to get out of there. But Brad cannoned him out the way the other day and got suspended for it. But no, I'm really pleased, and he's come on well since the run.
This morning we're going to have a quick look at a couple of horses that we hope might be emerging. Before we do, the 2 Cups runners from the spring, Unusual Suspect and Absolutely Unusual Suspect. Interesting plans for him?
Yeah, no, look, we had a look at Sydney, but we decided to go to Dubai. We sort of threw his name in the ring up there, and they accepted him to go up there and race up there for the carnival. So he heads off on the 18th of Jan, and he's in great order. He only had a couple of weeks off, but he's done terrific, and I'm really pleased how he is. His main aim is a 2-mile race on the World Cup night, the $1 million 2-mile race, which is his main aim. But we thought it would be prudent to get up there early and give him a few runs and settle in and get acclimatised and all that sort of thing. And look, I think he's a well-travelled sort of horse. I think he'll cope with that really well. And I noticed, they told me last night, Dunedin and Greg Cadeau aren't going, so he ran pretty well against those horses in the Melbourne Cup. So looking forward to that. It's going to be an interesting experience for me to take a horse up there and that. But I think he's the right sort of horse, and there's a series of races leading into that race, and hopefully we can pick up one on the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, she had chipped at fetlock in the Caulfield Cup, and we had it taken straight out, and I couldn't be happier with her. She's put on, she's really mature, and always felt this was going to be a better year. So she'll just come in and have a 3 or 4 runs in Sydney, purely Sydney. We'll go with her, and then put her out and bring her back for the spring. But I'm really pleased how she looks. She's done great.
A couple of horses we've got vision of this morning, including Tenno by Zeno Rob Roy. He's about to have another run.
Yeah, look, he's a horse that he's bred to really run 1.5 miles. He's by that good Japanese side, Zeno Rob Roy, he only stood here for a very short time because he got stuck here with EI, and he won his last start over a mile maiden at Cranbourne on a wet track, but prior to that his form was quite good. He should have only won his first start over 1300 at Seymour, and then we ran him in another 1300, and it was just too short for him. And then he won really well here at Cranbourne. He's been put away. He trialled last week and went really well. He'll probably resume in a class race on Sunday at Kilmore, all being well. Yeah, looking forward to getting him over a trip. I think he should progress for the grades and make a city class horse.
You think so? A staying prospect who's likely to have another trial, I believe?
Yeah, he'll have another trial. He's a horse that doesn't have a lot of speed. He's by Golan, who's a renowned staying side. He's out of a full sister to Montalia, so he's out of a Montjewel mare, out of a Zabeel mare, out of a Secretariat mare. And when I spotted him in New Zealand, I just couldn't help know the genetic strength in the female line there. And he's won a maiden and been placed in town a couple of times. He's been a little backward horse who I think is going to improve with time, but got really good stamina. So we're hoping he'll sort of go for the grades pretty quickly, end up in a nice race in the autumn.
A couple of Elstroms we had a look at this morning. One is Tyrannos.
Yeah, it's one of Frank Tagg's horses he gave me, who raced Elstrom. He's still a really immature horse, and he wasn't showing a lot of much earlier, but I tried him over 1400 metres here a couple of weeks ago, and he outstayed them and won the trial. It really showed good stamina, and it's just that sort of right time for a staying 3-year-old. If they can keep progressing, there's a lot of nice options for them at the moment. So he's still going to improve as he gets older, but we'll push him along now and run him in a mile maiden somewhere, and hopefully progresses into some of those better autumn races later on.
and another Elstrom called Starstrom.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. Good clients who bred him. You know, I know Elstrom hasn't been a great sire, but this mare's everything she's had, it's won and run well. He's I had him actually in work in the spring with visions of sort of getting into a spring campaign into him, and he just got a bit immature in his knees, and we stopped him. He's still a colt, but he's a lovely colt and doesn't give me any trouble. But he really showed my stuff that we do with the lactates and that he comes up really good. And I think he's one we're sort of hoping that might end up in Adelaide Derby. I think that much of him. I really like him. He's a nice big scopy horse, and he's had a De Heer mare, which I think she's been very strong in what the progeny she's shown so far. And I think this will be a best file. He's a really nice horse.
Terrific, thanks Mick. Let's hope the role continues through the autumn, and we'll chat again in a week or two.
Excellent, thank you.